And you gotta bounce all that religious music
Blah,
off.
blah, 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 blah.
Oh, we're rolling.
Oh.
All right.
Oh, hey, it's going
Toronto
on.
post game. Sounders 3-2.
It's a good game.
Yeah, it was a tough game. It was a tough. We were sometimes not coming through, and then sometimes coming through fantastically.
I do feel in the last 3 games that we played, you can definitely tell that they have watched videos of our early games, because I feel like half their team's in our box.
Yeah, I think everyone's really worried about us overrunning them in the first couple minutes.
Yes.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, because we did blitzkrieg the first couple of teams that we played real hard.
Yeah, and honestly, that kind of relates to the notes we took, because early on we're still learning how to break down these teams that are holding up in their 18 and not letting us let Smith overrun them early on, and not letting Rodriguez sneak through.
Yep. I think that we broke down Toronto in doing that. We definitely found ways to get through them, but they were trying their best to stay on us as much as possible, though.
Absolutely, because they were relying on their things, like they were relying on Bradley sending long balls and stuff to Altidore, and now they have another Bradley.
Yes,
so it's a tale of two Bradleys, which is, I don't know why you'd want to be that. I don't know why men would want to be him or women would want to be with him.
I don't know. It's a confusion that will keep me confused for the rest of my days, probably.
Yeah. So I think, what was that? That opening goal was Altidore.
Doing exactly what we said. We talked about before the game, is that he was in the same spot. He was doing the same thing he always does, and he just had. It's almost like he just walked to where he needed to be and stood there until the ball came into him, and that's all he had to do.
We gotta mark the back door. They crash. I understand why the Sounders wouldn't be listening to our show before they go out on the field, but at the same time, we said watch out for one of Altidore's 3 moves. One of them is just being in the right place at the right time, which is positioning. Which that's what he did.
Toronto is, however, really good at moving the field. They do move the field very well.
Yeah, they are a team,
except for Bradley.
Yeah, well, don't worry, we'll get to him.
Yeah,
and it's something that we needed to do. We did maintain support throughout the game, but there were times, especially early on, where we really weren't following up and down the field, really weren't following side to side. Now, pushing wide, if you're going to swing the ball, is fantastic, because it gets them to move out of shape, because the more you move, the more bad things can happen. I just hit the fucking stick. But if you don't move up and down the field and you don't move with the ball, you're going to find one of your dudes with 4 of their dudes. And we were doing that shit early on, which I didn't want to see, because that's something we fell to in the past.
We did a little bit of that in the second half, too, and it started getting real hairy and whatnot. But
luckily, Captain Ansem, Will Bruin,
just crashed. He's Superman that ball.
I believe it was a cross that took a brief deflection off their guy and just put that ball nicely for him to take a nice diving header.
He did a beautiful diving header.
And just big hugs all around, because everyone loves Will Bruin.
Yeah, that dude.
It's a fucking tragedy that Rui Diaz is Rui Diaz, because if he wasn't so good and so pretty and all that stuff, then you'd be able to advocate more. But when Will Bruin gets in, he makes an impact. He runs the ball down.
Will Bruin is a hard worker. He works really hard, and you can see the joy on his face when he scored that goal. There's just like a smile from ear to ear, and he just loved every minute of it. I'm glad.
It's really great. Glad. It's great when a person who puts in the effort gets rewarded with that kind of thing. And it's good when we score a goal and we maintain pressure, because there's nothing worse than scoring a goal, letting up, and then immediately giving one up. And we did not do that.
No, we stayed on them real hard. I think they actually kind of got a little aggravated and lost there for a little bit. Toronto did, because we were staying on them so hard. And
part of the problem is, when you push up and you put pressure on their defense when they have the ball, and you do not give them any time in the middle third and their defensive third, you run the risk of them sending a long ball. You run the risk of them doing exactly what Toronto likes to do.
Yeah, and I think Toronto was looking – I almost want to say Toronto was kind of going back to how we played last season, and was hoping that we would make those mistakes, that we would go too far up and they could get a long ball into him, and he could easily walk it in. We're not the same team as last season. Mm-hmm. We're not doing the same stuff we did last season. I mean, our guys are all over the field now, depending on no matter where they're supposed to be. They're playing, they're running back, they're doing everything they're supposed to, and it's going to be hard for teams to do this the same stuff they did the last couple seasons to beat us on balls and stuff.
Absolutely, man. And what else happened? So moving forward, we have there's some rough play going on. So this was not a soft game. This was definitely the kind of game you'd expect from the Seattle Sounders and Toronto. So there's the play where in the same kind of run on the field, they kind of just flattened Rodriguez. He was in their 18.
He was in their 18. He got shoved out of play, and then the ball got sent over to Altidore, who was wrestling Kiki.
Yeah.
And they both wrestled each other, but the foul, I think, went against Kiki somehow.
And you know what? You kind of can't hate Altidore for being Altidore.
No.
He's going to hang up there as one of his tricks. And he's either going to get a good run at the ball as it's going past the defenders, or he's going to tangle up and hopefully get a foul. And you just have to be paying attention.
Yeah. And then during the break, when it was time for everyone to regroup and do their thinking and come up for the second half, I just want to take a moment to appreciate British commercials. They're wonderful.
Legalized gambling makes for some fun. It's like a cross between like a Febreze commercial and like someone warning you about not paying your debts.
I will always love seeing a commercial for Bet365 because that is just an alien concept to me that you would see promotion for gambling, a gambling website on regular TV.
Yeah, I kind of like American ones with just some like good old Italian stereotypes coming out to be like, hey, come down to the alleyway behind, the meat market. It's fine. Don't worry. We got great odds. Everything's good. Everyone pays us and we pay everyone. Guaranteed. Or you're fucking dead. So, all right. So we get to the second half.
Yeah.
Not too exciting to start off. Fair enough, because sometimes excitement is no good for you.
Right.
There was a lot of scrapping going on in front of their goal. So that actually was exciting. There was a handful of times when the ball was just loose in their 6 and just
in front of our goal towards the end of the game. It got a little hair raising at both sides. And then our second goal came, which was a phenomenal crossover to Bruin, who got the ball in. And what I loved about that is that right behind him, if he couldn't touch it, was Morris. Morris was right there to be the backup if that ball didn't get touched by Bruin into the net. So
yeah,
that was beautiful.
That was a Smith cross, was it?
Yeah.
I think that was part of that wonderful, if not overlap, you get the same result as an overlap where Smith is getting we're sending those nice balls in where we're timing it properly so the cross is going out when we're expecting people to crash at certain positions in the 18. And fantastic. I love it when a plan comes together, put the cigar in my mouth, and drug Mr. T's milk.
However, right after that, Toronto came back when we were sleeping a little bit, and Altidore being in the same spot that he always is in, on the other side of the field this time, got another goal for him. And
it was, I mean, he got a hold of the ball and he flicked it on. He did the thing that you do when you're the guy who runs and flicks balls on, and sometime they go in the goal.
And I'm sure that if at the end of the game you mic'd up him and Smith talking, it would have definitely been Altidore going, man, I'm so glad I didn't get in a foot race with you because I would have been really embarrassed.
That would have been embarrassing. Everything that Altidore was known for would have been reduced to just a sort of like, man, he probably should have held up that run a little bit. That was embarrassing. So good for him. But fuck him as well.
And let's just go on to go ahead and say something about Bradley. I hadn't noticed this before, and then you had pointed it out, but when he gets the ball, he stops. And he almost stops and puts his foot on the ball and looks around to see what he needs to do.
And I'm so glad he's doing it to a team I'm not trying to root for this time. Oh, I hate that shit in the men's national team. Oh my God, that man is a black hole.
I honestly think that because he did that in 2 different occasions that I remember seeing, he actually held up the play against Toronto that may have actually gave them a scoring opportunity. Because as soon as he did that, we were able to counter and come rushing towards them and actually, I think, get the ball away from him at least one of the times he did that.
Also, the other thing that Bradley is an expert at is giving someone a pass when he shouldn't be. Like when someone's making a run and he's like making space for somebody else and he gives him that pass because this is the first one he sees that's open, the person's like, oh, here, have the ball back.
I mean, all you really got to say is I'm glad Bradley is not that great at the game because we could have been in a lot more trouble.
Yeah,
if he was.
Absolutely.
Bruin went down in the 77th minute, and hopefully he's okay. We don't know. I don't know the.
Always hoping it's precaution. Yeah. Always hoping it's like, hey, buddy, you put 2 in the goal. You did a great job. Fantastic. Let's go get you a Gatorade and a rub down.
Torres came in for him. It's always good to see Torres out there too.
I love seeing Torres.
And watching Torres take on a bigger dude on the other team is always phenomenal. I don't know. Last season, the season before, they did it when against Portland. He came in and he went up against Audi, and man, you could tell Audi was completely just disgusted. They had to fight against this gigantic giant of a man that completely just nullified anything he could do.
He's big and he's fast.
And he did it tonight. He did it today against Altidore. There's multiple times that he just made Altidore look stupid.
Yeah, it was fun. There's a lot of snubbing, and I like that. I think it was in the interview with Smetzer that he's talking about one of the things that when they bring in Torres and kind of load up the back, it actually gives the wings even more of a chance to run up and down the field, which absolutely. Is fantastic because not only does it put more defenders in front of our goal when we're looking to kind of hunker down a bit, but it also has that like immediate takeoff at their goal.
Yep.
And that's just a fantastic thing.
We get Ship coming in for Morris in the 84th minute. And I think that was good because I want Morris to stay healthy. I don't need him to do anything extra that he doesn't need to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather him be as healthy as possible so he can play more and more games.
And the Roldan's goal.
Oh yeah.
I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
That was a wonderful run of freaking Jesus Christ. Where the hell is Anyway, he's doing the runs that I loved from Little Brother.
Absolutely.
From Alonso, and it got rewarded. I think that was a through pass. I think freaking leered him or something like that. The point is, Roldan took that, turned with it, popped that almost upper 90.
It was beautiful. And Toronto was sleeping. They were not paying attention. They probably even thought it may have been offsides, but it was not offsides. And it was a beautiful goal. Got us the lead again. And speaking of Alonso, shout out to Alonso scoring the first goal for Minnesota in their new stadium today.
Yeah, I believe you're saying that it was the first goal in that stadium.
Yeah.
So now he's going to get that little plaque on the wall no matter what.
Yeah, hopefully. That's going to be great.
Good for him. Put up Alonso plaques all over North America.
Absolutely.
Do it.
Then when Ship came in for Morris, I'm glad, like I said before, I'm happy for that because I think Morris needs to rest and stay healthy because needs to happen. Needs to keep him healthy. And Ship, always a pleasure to see Ship on the field. That man is amazing. He knows exactly how to play the game. And I'm very grateful that we as the Sounders have him.
And just like with Nuhu, because Nuhu got a couple minutes at the end of it, and
absolutely, yeah.
Any Nuhu in the early afternoon is good Nuhu.
Yeah, it's
a shame you don't see him on the field more, but I imagine as the season goes on, since things are gelling well and we're still playing good, hopefully we'll see him in there more.
I think he's a good super sub. Honestly, I think he's good to come in when we need a super boost of speed. I can't even imagine having Nuhu and Smith on the opposite side of the field together and just lightning speed that they would have with one another.
Absolutely, man. So lastly, towards the end of the game, so we were still getting into the attack in third, and we were still overloading. We were still doing all the stuff, but they also kind of controlled the field at the end of the game.
They cornered us into our box, and it was a corner after corner after a ruthless onslaught onto our goal, but the brick wall that is Fry, you're not going to get hardly anything past him. And he did another amazing save. That ball could have easily went in, and he just flicked it away like it was nothing. And then the other dude took a shot and it hit the post, and we were having a little bit of trouble getting him out of our box, but we got out and we held.
I wrote down Consuelo. That's his name. Their new good guy. They're Neo Vinco. Neo Vinco. He actually almost earned his money. He didn't seem to be doing all that much most of the game, but he had a really good shot at the end because he apparently can turn and take a good shot.
Yeah.
With very few touches and very few run up to the ball, which is a frightening thing. But I gotta tell you, man, end of the game corners against you are no fun.
No,
it is such a terrible thing to have to sit there and wait for them to set up and then be like, you know what, this is maybe the time when luck does not go against us, and we have almost no time to come back.
It was really nerve-wracking. I would say it's very, very nerve-wracking. But overall, fun game. It was a dirty, fun game in a way because it got kind of touchy and pushy out there, which is always fun. And I think that I'm excited to see what goes forward, and especially since the next game, which is next Sunday.
Oh yeah, what we got?
We got LA Football Club.
Okay,
which is the other very undefeated hot team right now on the Western Conference. So this is going to be a huge game.
So the point is, follow through with your headers because Svetlana is going to kick you in the face, whatever that guy is.
Yeah.
That guy is very dangerous, obviously, because he's superstar, man. But just go for the ball with your head when it should be a header, and he will try to kick you in the face, and you will get the play. I think too many people back their heads off. I'm like, no, go ahead. He is in the wrong. Put your head there. As long as you're not, lowering your head below your shoulders or whatever the rule is, you're fantastic.
Yeah, because as of right now, for next week's game, it's hold on. For next week's game, it's
I think we're playing the Legion of Doom. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's
I think we're playing the Globetrotters, so we're fucked.
Yeah, so
yeah, we're gonna be good in the first 15 minutes, and then it's gonna be 147-0.
Yeah.
But I want to go to the game, and I want to get a bucket of confetti thrown at me.
That would be cool.
If not by one of them, then by
somebody.
That guy that did that. I forget what his name is. No one's listening. Who cares?
But yeah, next week should be a good game because it's LA Football Club and Seattle Sounders. We're 1 and 2 in the Western Conference, and we I think that's gonna be who's gonna dominate the West.
Yeah, sounds good, man. So once again, person or persons on YouTube and .com, and we'll see some of you for about 35 seconds in the beginning of it.
Yeah, and then you'll be like, "What is this shit?" And
you'll get to hear us get going, but not quite going, and not as much soccer. Yeah. But you know what? Every time you do, it puts another number on the thing, and I can look at it occasionally and be like, "That's right, people love me.
We got somebody."
And that's really what the internet's about. It's about putting yourself out there emotionally so other people can reinforce you and how you feel. It's about reaching out and making connections with other human beings when they're at their most able to attack you freely.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
I like it. It's going to be what we call them good problems.
Yeah, we do the closing with rambles. I would just go and say a random off the wall thing that if you don't like Sam Cooke, you are un-American as fuck. You are a slack-jaw knuckle dragger that can't appreciate one of the best singers in American history.
I can verify that one Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, and that if you never heard the live from the Harlem Square Club album, then you are missing out because that is a phenomenal live album.
Yeah,
and that's my random thing of the day.
Yeah, if I had to have a random thing of the day. Oh, what did I learn recently? Oh, I know. Here you go. There's a big present for whoever bothers to listen to this long. I figured out where the whole Uber and all the bicycles that are around Seattle now. Yeah. Now they have all these bicycles. They're red and green and whatever the hell. And then we got the Uber. That means those two things are going to converge at some point and become Johnny Cab rickshaws.
Ooh.
So you're going to have a rickshaw, and it's going to have the Johnny Cab from Total Recall.
I like that.
Which means eventually you and Johnny Cab are gonna fight to the death.
Oh, is that the one that explodes when he gets? Okay, yeah.
But I think you will have been able to see the Fremont Troll and probably go down and get a gyro at Sinbad or something before you have to
Will the dude that has 30 kids be there as well?
No, he has 4 kids.
Oh, I thought he had 30.
No, you thought he had 5.
Oh, okay.
Because he said 5 before. Because don't forget. Benny is going to get in the boring machine. He's gonna run you down.
Right.
He's gonna kill you. He's a bad guy. He's gonna do you wrong. But Benny's got morals because don't forget when Schwarzenegger calls him out about I thought you had 5 kids. He says, man, I don't know. He's like, I think he says, I'm not even married.
Oh.
So in Benny's mind, children are for people who are connected by a sacred bond and or a magistrate, in whatever the downtown of Mars is. So Benny will kill you, but Benny also lives by a code, and that code has to do with some weird strict 50s type of bullshit.
Well, good job, Benny. and we'll see everyone next Sunday.
Yeah. Get lost.